fantasy is changing, and maybe I had some small part in it changing. If you read some of the younger fantasy writers who have come along in the last 5 years or so, I think their work reflects more of a realism. But the modern fantasy largely grew out of the work of J.R.R. Tolkien and his great landmark Lord of the Rings, which looms over all fantasy like a mountain, and everybody else is operating in the shadow of Tolkien and what he did. And my admiration for Tolkien and his work is second to none. I think Lord of the Rings is one of the great novels of the 20th century, perhaps the greatest novel of the 20th century. But that being said, following Lord of the Rings, fantasy was largely taken over by Tolkien imitators who were delivering Tolkien-like books, but who didn't seem to capture any of the power of Tolkien and just were borrowing some of his tropes. And some of the things that Tolkien did, which I think worked for him, in the hands of these lesser writers, developed into pretty bad cliches. And the whole thing of the Dark Lord is stirring, and his ugly minions are coming out, and they're horrible minions because they're ugly, and they wear black, and
Bad.
they have a lot
Super
of
bad.
spikes and stuff on their armor, and and the good guys go forth, and they're all like elves and stuff like that, and they're really pretty, and they wear white, and the world is not that simple. Good guys and bad guys is fun when you're 7, but you should look around and see what the world is like and grow more than that. And I wanted to kind of reflect, to weld fantasy with the historical fiction, and which is more gritty and realistic, and to capture some of what I see as the real moral ambiguity of these issues